Hello everyone, Namaste, my name is Srishti and in today's video I am going to show you some exercises and asanas that can help reduce the risk of prostate enlargement or BPH. These asanas may be helpful in preventing the condition of BPH. How do these asanas work? These asanas basically strengthen your pelvic muscles, and the strengthening of pelvic floor muscles in turn improves the bladder control. Yoga also helps in reducing stress, and stress is believed to make the symptoms of BPH worsen. So reducing stress through yoga means that the symptoms of BPH or prostate enlargement are less likely to get aggravated. Now I'm going to show you some very simple exercises and asanas that can even be performed by those who are just beginners. So let's start. Now before we move to the next asanas, I'm going to tell you something about your pelvic muscles. Pelvic muscles are also the ones that support our bladder. How do we identify those muscles while we are exercising? Imagine that you're trying to stop your urine forcefully. So once you have to stop your urine forcefully, you have to contract those muscles. Those are our pelvic muscles. So whenever I say engage your pelvis, that means you have to contract your muscle just like when you are trying to stop your urine forcefully. Hold it for a few seconds and then relax. Release those muscles. That is how we engage our pelvic muscles. Now starting with our first asana, and that is Baddha Konasana. So we are going to sit with the sole of our feet together, and then we are going to try to bring the heels as close as possible towards the pelvis as per your limits. Now you're going to place one hand behind and then push the other knee just to give it a little stretch and prepare for the asana. So you have to push the knee to bring the knee towards the mat. We'll do it on the other side also. 5 times is good. Now one thing that we have to keep in mind while doing this asana is that our back, our spine should be straight. If you find it a little difficult to keep your spine straight in the entire asana, you can place a cushion just under your hips. That will act as in support to keep your spine straight. Now, we're going to hold our toes together, push the heels against each other, engage your pelvis. So you have to squeeze, contract your pelvic muscles, and then try to push the knees towards the mat. So this is, right now you're here. Now you're trying to push the knee towards the mat. Hold it for 3 to 4 minutes. You can relax in between for a few seconds and then do it again. In case you are unable to hold your toes, you can also place your hands behind. The fingers are pointing back. And then engage your pelvis, press your heels against each other, and then try to push the knee towards the ground. This is what you have to do. Now after doing it for 3 to 4 minutes at least, start walking your hands forward. Inhale first, lengthen your spine, extend, and then exhale, bend forward. If this is your limit, you can stay here. And if you feel that you want to go deeper into the stretch, start moving forward. Remember, we are not bending, we are not curving the back, we are not putting any stress on the neck. We are in fact extending. And at the same time, we are pushing the knee towards the mat, towards the ground. If you feel that you cannot move forward, you can stay here. You can feel a good stretch here itself. Engage your pelvis, push your knee down, and then you feel the stretch. Now once you're placing the palms down, what you're doing is you're trying to pull the palms. That's the sensation that you're trying to create. So when you try to pull the palms towards you, you feel more stretch on your pelvic region. So you have to really squeeze, contract your pelvis, and the palms are pulling towards you in order to take you forward. And then we come up. So you can walk forward and come back. You can do it for 3 to 5 times. Now the next asana is Virasana, and we are going to come in a tabletop position. So right now your knees and your hip are in line with each other. Open your ankle to the side. The toes are facing back. The toes are pulling back and your legs are open towards the side. Now from here you're going to walk back with your hands slowly and place your hip down. This is an advanced asana and it might be difficult for the ones having knee pain or knee injury, having an ankle injury, hip fat or thigh fat. It's really difficult for them to sit this way. We have an alternative for that. You can place a cushion just under the hip. You can even place 2 cushions under the hip to make it a little higher. And you can gently place your hip on the cushion. So this will relax your ankle. It will not put much of stress on your ankle, your knee and your thighs. Now one thing that we have to keep in mind while doing this asana is keeping your spine straight. So your spine has to be straight and at the same time your pelvis is engaged. So your pelvis, your hip is not relaxed. It has to be engaged. Place your palms on the thighs and then stay here for 4 to 5 minutes. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. This is a common mistake that we make in this asana is that your toes are pointing to the side. So this is what we do. This is a wrong way, this is a mistake that we make. The toes should be pointing back and not to the side. Now there's also another way of doing this asana is simply sitting in Vajrasana. You can place a cushion on your calves and relax your hip on the cushion. And now from here, straighten your spine, engage your pelvis, contract your pelvic muscles and you have to stay here for 4 to 5 minutes. Now we come to the next exercise and we are going to sit on our hip with our legs straight. Now we are going to fold one leg and bring the heel closer to the left groin. So this is what we have to do. In case you find it difficult placing the heel so close to the left groin, no problem, you can also place it here. You can little bit open your leg and then place it away from the left leg. Now we are going to inhale, lengthen your spine and exhale, extend forward. Inhale and come up. Now while we are doing this asana, one thing that we have to keep in mind is that left leg is engaged. The left leg is not relaxed. The toes are pulling back. So you feel the stretch all over your calves and your thighs. And while we are extending forward, the other knee is not relaxed. The other knee is also pushing down towards the ground. So as you push the other knee, that engages your right hip and that in turn engages your pelvic muscles. So you have to inhale, lengthen your spine, exhale, extend forward. The right knee is pushing down and the left toes are pulling towards me. It's not important that you have to go further down. You can feel the stretch. Place your palms beside and pull yourself forward. Extend. Keep breathing here. Take 3 to 5 long breaths and then slowly walk back. Release the leg. Then we fold the other leg as per your limit. Inhale, lengthen your spine and exhale. Extend forward. So there's no stress on my neck. I'm not trying to pull my shoulders up. Shoulders are relaxed. My spine is extended and not curved. And feel the stretch. Engage your pelvis. And we walk back. I'm using the word engage your pelvis again and again because that's very important while we are doing these asanas. These asanas will work properly only when you engage your pelvis. Now we come to the next exercise and we're going to lie down on our belly. Bring your legs closer, bring your legs together, pull the toes away from your body, engage your hip Take your hands just beside your chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down, relax. Now when you come down, your hip is still engaged. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Inhale. Hold here for 1 to 2 seconds. And then we exhale down. So you can do it for 5 to 10 repetitions. Now for the ones who have back injury, lower back or slip disc, what they can do is place a cushion just under your pelvis. Place the elbow down. So your elbow and your shoulder is in one line. Bring the legs together. Pull the toes away from your body. And then engage. You have to squeeze the pelvis. And relax. Squeeze the pelvis. Your toes are pulling back. And then relax. You can do it for 7 to 10 times. Now we come to the next asana, and that is Dhanurasana. We are going to place our head on our hands. Fold the leg, open them wide, and then lift your legs up as high as possible, and then relax. Lift again. And then relax. So you can do it for 3 to 5 times. Now for the ones who find it very easy doing this exercise, they can come into an advanced asana. Fold your legs. Take your hands making a circle and hold the ankle from outside. So you're going to hold it this way and not from inside. You're going to hold the ankle from outside. And then inhale. Take your legs away from your hip. Exhale down. So you can do this breathing for 3 to 5 times. Now we come to the next asana, and we're going to lie down on our back. Keeping your legs straight. Keeping your palms just beside your hip. And now we're going to lift one leg up, straight 90 degree. You can also lift it till here, that's up to your limits. Now one thing that we have to keep in mind, that while we are lifting the right leg, the left leg will not lift up. The left leg remains intact on the ground. It is grounded. And the left leg toes are pulling towards you. So the leg is not relaxed, the leg is grounded and engaged. Now, while the right leg is up, what you have to do is try to hold your big toe. So you're using your index finger and the center finger, and we're going to take it from the inside of our thumb and try to pull the leg towards you. Now remember one thing, that the middle back and the lower back is on the mat. The back is not arched, the spine is engaged, and the whole spine is pushing against the mat. Now from here, try to pull the toes towards you, towards the chest. And then slowly going to release. Now if you find it difficult to hold the toes with your hand, you can use a strap. All you have to do is place the strap on the back side of your foot, on the sole of the foot, and then you can use the strap to pull your leg. Remember that the leg is pulling towards you, so the toes are pulling towards you, and you'll feel the stretch. The whole spine is pushing on the mat, the hip is pushing, and the pelvis is engaged. The pelvic muscles are totally engaged, and then slowly release. The same way we are going to do it on the other side. Place the strap on the sole of your foot, straighten the leg, and then try to pull the leg. Keep breathing. Keep your spine against the mat. the other leg is engaged and not lifting up. You can also stay here and feel the stretch and then slowly release. So you can do it for 3 to 5 times on each leg, one by one. Now we come to the next exercise, and for that we are going to fold our legs and bring the heel closer to the hip. The legs will remain hip distance apart. Now place your palms just beside your hip. Engage the pelvis. So how do we engage the pelvis? Squeeze. Squeeze your pelvic muscles. Tailbone tucked in. The middle back is pushing against the ground. The whole spine is pushing against the ground, and we lift up. Squeeze your hip. And then relax. Engage the pelvis again. Squeeze the hip. And we lift up. Hold it for 2 to 3 seconds. And then we come down. So you can do it for 10 to 20 times. If you want, you can also lift the whole hip and your spine. This way, the hip remains squeezed in, the pelvis is squeezed in. Now as you come down, still you don't arch your back. You have to press the entire spine and the pelvis remains engaged. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. So you can do it for 10 to 20 times. Now at the end, we are going to do a simple twisting. We are going to open our legs wider than the hip distance. You can place the palms beside your shoulders or just beside your hip. Now we are going to twist. As you twist, don't let the opposite shoulder lift up. Now we are going to twist this way and look towards the opposite side. You are going to twist for 10 times. This twist is very good even if you have a lower back pain. Also for your pelvic muscles, it's a very good twist. One of the easiest way of contracting and relaxing your pelvic muscles is by placing your hands beside or behind your hip. Fold your knees, and then from here going to contract your muscles. So you're going to contract as if you're trying to lift the hip. So when you're making the sensation of lifting your hip, eventually your muscles will get contracted. Hold it for 4 to 5 seconds and then release. We'll do it again. Contract your muscles, contract your pelvis, engage your pelvis as if you're trying to lift up your hip, and then relax. So you can do it for at least 8 to 10 times every day. So these were some simple exercises and yoga asanas that can help reduce the risk of BPH. These asanas can help you develop muscular control and flexibility in the pelvic region, thus strengthening your pelvic muscles. But make sure that you practice these exercises on daily basis for the best positive result. Hope you like the video, and if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Namaste.